This game had everything. Records broken, upsets completed, and some shots I've been waiting all season to capture. What's up everybody, Jaron Frizz, aka FrizzyVisuals. I'm the creator of deck for Colorado State Athletics with multiple years of professional sports and photography experience. And today, we're diving into our Fresno State game where we scored the most points of the Jay Norvell era and took down the top team in the conference. We've got a ton of game action, a bunch of new faces to shoot portraits of, and we even messed around with something brand new, low shutter drags during warm-ups, so let's walk over to the stadium. Another night game on the books and another overcast day with no real sunshine, which is perfectly fine by my standards. But instead of heading out to Ram Walk, I decided to put the ND filter to use to try to get some low shutter shots. If you're not familiar, low shutter or shutter drag shots are when you intentionally use a slower shutter speed to capture motion blur, things like crowd or player motion streaking through the frame. The challenge is that during the day, there's way too much light to slow your shutter down without completely blowing out the image. That's where the ND filter comes in. It acts like sunglasses for your lens, cutting down the light so you can drag the shutter and get that effect without overexposing the shot. I'm slapping the Polar Pro Variable ND 5:9 stop filter on the 35mm G Master to catch some motion and focus on the ram head as I walk into the locker room while trying to keep my camera as stable as possible braced against this railing. My first two shots looked fine, but I wanted a little more emphasis on the ram head logo, so I sprinted forward to see if I could find another angle that worked better. And there it is. I love this frame. The boys kept rolling in and I wanted one more angle, so I sprinted down to the fieldhouse level and tried to frame up the fight on wrap as the players grabbed their helmets and ran back out onto the field. The low shutter shots kept getting better with each angle, and the last two were my favorites. I tried the same look during warm-ups, but this was pretty much the only one that looked smooth. With the ND filter on a lunch break until the team run out, I threw the White Mamba on to snag a couple warm-up flicks. After grabbing just a few warm-up shots in the rain and not really wanting to stay out there any longer than I had to lock in for the team run out. Week 1, we were above the tunnel. Week 2, we were right in the middle of the cheerleaders. And for week 3, I wanted to put the ND filter to work and see what we could pull off from that same spot. I was straight banging that shutter and ended up taking about 100 frames in a matter of a couple seconds. The best frame, no doubt, was this shot right here. I hit the perfect moment. Stadium lights flashing off, fire blazing at full strength in the back, and a few shadowy figures sprinting through the middle. This is one of those frames where the longer you look at it, the more it grows on you, and I can't help but notice the similarities to Jack Boy's 2 album cover. Uncanny. If you thought those low shutter shots were wild, the game action takes it up another level because on one of the first plays of the night, we broke free for a massive touchdown.
They try to chase to the 10. He zooms in. Big play, touchdown, Colorado State.
I tried to snipe something from midfield, but it was way too out of range and out of position for a celebration shot, but I flipped the script on the next offensive possession, caught the tail end of the play, and the full celebration.
Target out of the backfield, it's caught. Touchdown, Colorado State. Danny Kennard, a freshman running back, 29 yards at Colorado State. A great start in a game where they need it.
Celebrations all around as the Rams shot up quick with a 14-0 lead. Through all the chaos, I had to track down QB1 on the sideline to see how he was feeling. However, I couldn't keep my eyes off the field for too long because Lamondre was causing havoc on the defensive side of the field. And all that havoc led to an interception that turned into quite a nice return. The energy was through the roof, and shortly after we found ourselves in the red zone, instead of hanging back on the sidelines, I decided to mix it up on the field by the field goal post to see what I could capture. I caught the snap, and then the celebration for one of the best names in college football, Rocky Beers.
It's brought in. Touchdown CSU, Rocky Beers.
However, this brings up one of my biggest gripes when shooting college football. Stadium lights flashing after a touchdown. It's awesome for the fans and maybe even for video, but for photography, it's absolutely brutal. Hopping into Lightroom, you can see these first two frames. I'm in focus, perfect distance, everything lined up for a clean celebration shot. Then just a few frames later, complete darkness. The lights flash in and out, ruining what could have been a perfect moment. And when I crank the brightness, you can see exactly what I missed because of those flashing lights. The only real way to save these is to kill the color and make them black and white. There's not much else you can do unless you switch to auto, which I never do. But what we don't have to worry about when it comes to flashing lights, PATs. Then, on the defensive side of the ball, mid-season All-American Owen Long is always good for at least one good celebration a game. It might feel like there's already been a ton of action, but trust me, there is a lot more coming. So I took a little break from the on-field chaos and shifted my focus to the guys on the sideline for a bit. Taking a couple sideline portraits was broken up by yet another Rocky Beers touchdown. And this play-by-play dropped one of the coldest lines I've ever heard.
A 20-yard ice-cold connection from Brusso to Beers.
On the defensive side of the ball, Tangelo was feeling himself after getting a TFL, which should have been a precursor for what was about to happen next. I'll just roll the clip out.
Warner pressured, slides out of it, has wheels, chased from behind, the swipe, Akers, did he get the football? He did! They don't rule him down. Tangelo running, Tangelo scoring! Fuck yeah!
Everybody loves a big man touchdown, especially one like this. Pure chaos, multiple cutbacks running through a swarm of bodies. The defensive guys are fired up, and it was just a fun play to capture. After that play, I tried to roam around and catch some faces I haven't captured yet this season. I love how the colors look in this photo. And then, before we knew it, another touchdown for the good guys.
12-yard touchdown for Lorna Mott. Turning the lights out potentially against Fresno State. Way too easy.
Had to get a shot of that celebration as well. After that last touchdown, the game was pretty much out of reach, but I still managed to snag one of my favorite shots of the night. This super deep portrait of Owen Long. Love how that eye black is looking. This game truly had everything. Records broken, an upset win, and some of my favorite shots from the season. I was really happy with how those low shutter shots turned out. Let me know in the comments if you want a dedicated video talking about how to achieve that look in camera. And if you enjoy content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos like this every single week, and with basketball season right around the corner, we've got some fun stuff coming. Until next time.